Where are we gonna get our furniture from, IKEA?
I ain't got no idea.
Feel good about that.
I feel real good about that.
See, dang, bro.
What?
His back's just floating. He ain't got nothing.
Oh, no, dude.
Damn.
I don't need the support on my back. Dude, you got to support yourself within yourself.
Let's call it the Big Boys Floor Podcast.
I wanted to call it the Brothers in Arms Podcast, but there was somebody who already had 1,000 followers, so I didn't need that.
Face the pain is going to be hard to detour from you like that. But then if we're talking, like if one day you're talking about nutrition.
Face the pain of being fat. Face the pain of, like you're talking about, believing that the earth is flat, right? So, like, if you believe that the earth is flat, then it would be my job to face the pain and believe that the earth was a globe in the first place. Do you see what I'm saying?
How about, yeah, but you're good at you're very good at leveraging whatever you're about to support into anything.
Isn't that the job of the...
See, he's doing it now.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Do your intro thing. I don't care what we do.
All right.
These are just testers.
This will stick.
Damn it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Face the Pain podcast. We got Alan, Alex, and our very special guest, Parker Lewis. Thank you for being on.
Yeah,
we are always excited to see you. Me and Parker grew up together, so we, I guess, really, if you want to start early, we played youth league baseball together. I played third base, and Parker picked at dirt in the outfield.
Grass and flowers and stuff. Other things.
And we ended up moving to Springville, and the way that I kind of got reintroduced to Parker is Nick Parker and Devin Wilson were best friends with Parker at the time. And Parker broke his leg. And so Parker had a super inconvenience because the school we were in was 2-story and everything for our grade was on the second floor.
Just to walk in the school, you had to go up some stairs, dude. My mom had to pull me backwards, like
100%.
Yes, dude. Very trivial moment. I'm young, got a cast up to my thigh.
Yeah, so that's how I kind of was like, who is that big-headed kid with that beautiful swishy hair?
I feel like this isn't starting so great.
And anyways, long story short, me and Parker ended up just talking. We had similar interests, found out that Parker rode dirt bikes. I was always into it, but, Parker went more of the MX route, was into racing, all that kind of stuff. Where for me, enduro racing, cheap freak type racing, not real racing in any way.
Well, no.
But yeah, we both enjoyed motorcycles, so that kind of brought us together. And then we figured out, we both like playing video games. We like a lot of the same stuff. We believe a lot of the same things. And so we just kind of developed a friendship from there. And next thing you know, it's like every single day of my high school career, he was at my house. We were eating ramen noodles together, hanging out for a bit. Then he'd peace out back to the house, jump on Gears of War 2. Ended up playing until we were the number 13 ranked team in the entire world in Gears of War.
Solid, dude.
That's my wingman right there. So
there's a chance that got you started in your career for games. There's a chance.
Very possible.
Because Big Bro's playing a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Dominating. Then you're like, man, I want to try.
Yeah.
So the reason I started gaming in the first place was because it was this specific year: Call of Duty 4, Halo 3, Gears of War 2. Those are all three games from the same year. That is the pinnacle of gaming.
Yeah, but what year was that?
2007 to 8.
Yeah.
Dang.
November of 2007 into. He used to play Call of Duty 4 with a Three Doors Down CD that was burnt to the Xbox 360, and I went and played the campaign and found out that I really enjoyed playing video games and just kind of getting lost and whatever. And then I started playing that music in the background. I was like, I know why my brother likes doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was bit by the game bug.
Yeah, they're solid. Of course, I watched don't like it, but
yeah. Well, dude, I remember back in the day, like you're talking about, in order to get the Three Doors Down CD on your Xbox, you had to buy the Three Doors Down CD or burn it off a LimeWire and kill your family's computer.
Yeah.
But you'd have to take the CD and then load it onto your Xbox, download the music on there, and then you made basically your own playlist and could play the playlist.
Dude, think about that. Kids aren't going to experience that.
No.
You had to really chance some shit.
Yeah.
Get on LimeWire, download it. And you almost missed out. You just were a part because he was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But then take that, download it onto your Xbox, which wasn't like an easy. Then to get it to play, it wouldn't work half the time. Dude, yeah. Now Spotify, you just tap your phone and it's on there ready to rock.
I mean, even with MySpace back in the day, I mean, I credit my ability to learn how to program robots with learning how to hide my music on my MySpace.
We're basically coders in the 8th grade on MySpace.
I was writing in code for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But those were great times, dude. I mean, I miss being able to publicly say, these are my 8 best friends, and if you're not on this list, don't call me. You know what I mean?
And if you piss me off, see you later, dude.
Hepatitis, see you later. You're out of here.
See ya. Dude, whatever the hot song was, that was it. This is why I'm hot. That was definitely on there.
Mine would be like some Nickelback, like, look at this photograph. And then you couldn't even turn it off. Then you're trapped into it. Yeah. Like, you don't have any choice.
And it was like backgrounds were cool. So you missed out on that, didn't you?
I got to view MySpace, but I didn't make a profile and all that fun stuff.
MySpace was pretty cool, dude.
Yeah.
Why did it go away?
Facebook. So basically, MySpace to me was the best, but MySpace decided to go the avenue of music. They started losing people because Facebook became like it was Class B hiring. So basically, in order to get a Facebook, you had to know somebody who had a Facebook. They had to invite you to join Facebook, and then you were part of like
Really?
this, yeah,
I didn't know that.
underground clan of mainly college students at the
I didn't know
time.
that.
Yeah. And so eventually it got to where it was public and you could just create a profile and everything. But by the time it got to there, that is where people were really communicating, like in the college space, in the young work professional space or whatever. And MySpace was kind of like where the high school kids were still conglomerating. And so the Facebook, it felt cooler and everybody moved that way.
I guess comparing the two, it was a little more seamless.
Yes.
Like you didn't have music, the backgrounds, all the crap. It just was like of course now it's like a drama fest, but
Yeah. Now everybody's a digital creator. I say that as one now myself, which is extremely embarrassing. But like, you wouldn't believe how many people I click on their page and it just says digital creator. And I was like, I didn't know you created anything digitally. I thought you just shared memes, but that's a different story, you know?
dude, MySpace is cool.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, MySpace.
Hey, MySpace, everybody was a digital creator.
Yeah.
Like you weren't sharing
Background
people's
on
stories.
all of it.
You'd just be like, had a bad day today. Dad made me cut the grass again. XD. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Then you'd go and play Gears of War 2, cut on 3 Doors Down, and be like, cause I'm a loser.
Dang.
Sooner or later, you know I'll be dead.
Yes.
Dude, podcast turns into just like reminiscing on old times.
That's what it is, man. That's what this is about.
Now we have emojis.
Yeah.
It's not an X and a D or a semicolon. It's none of
Right.
that. It's an emoji.
You gotta,
Like,
yeah.
Dang.
I remember the first emoji. You would have to do, listen, you'd have to do and heart, and then it was like semicolon or something like that. And if you did that and hit enter, it would then extrapolate itself into a heart
On a phone?
on MySpace.
Oh.
Yes.
I think I do remember that.
Yes.
Like, but there was other ones too.
Yeah.
Do more
Eventually it got way,
Yeah.
as soon as it started to get advanced, everybody was like, we're too cool for all this and went to
dude.
Facebook.
Right at the end, it was like monster backgrounds.
Yes.
Really cool shit.
Yes.
It just went away.
I was making, dude, like you're talking about, making custom backgrounds. You'd go to Microsoft
Yes.
Paint and you would literally take whatever you were into. Like, you know, we were into like,
Have them together.
right, metal music. And like, I had like Chris the Crippler Lieben and people on my page.
Two. Under Oath was on there for
Dude,
sure.
I've been talking about the UFC and promote people like Chris Lieben and George St. Pierre and stuff like that since I was like 15 years old. And I didn't even realize that I was doing it. I just was like, this is sick and people should know about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Turns out nobody cares what I think, but it's still fun either way.
Yeah. You have a good voice.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But dude, no, like you said, this is what making this was about for me. So I started with the UFC stuff, and I obviously will always care about the UFC and will always talk about the UFC. I mean, it's brought my family together almost every Saturday for almost the majority of my life at this point. You know what I mean? Like I'm going on the far side of 30.
When did UFC take over like football?
It'll never take over football just because people like Pfizer and Moderna invest in people like Travis Kelce and that push the COVID vaccine through ways of like the football and things like that. But the UFC, as far as common culture being on the same level as football and that kind of thing, I would say when we were 15, 16 years old, they had The Ultimate Fighter. When The Ultimate Fighter happened, boom, now the world gets to see it. Everybody's not paying pay-per-view for it. Like my dad's into it, bringing me into the fold. You know what I mean?
It's still a thing.
Yes, absolutely. So
Like,
they just had a season with Chael Sonnen and Daniel Cormier as the coaches.
Chael's done it a few times, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then who was he having it with that ball guy?
Vanderlei Silva.
Vanderlei Silva.
Dude, that was a solid like
That was the
rivalry.
best.
That was solid. When he said, "Can't touch me. You can't touch me." Dude.
I can't let you get close.
Yes, yes.
That right there is one of the moments in UFC history that like everybody looked at it, everybody knew what it was, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, that was incredible!" And it was one of those like, because the UFC has grown in like levels. It hasn't been this consistent climb of like, "Oh, we're gaining 1,000 followers a week" or whatever. It was like we went from 5,000 to 50,000, and then they went from 50,000 to 150,000. And that was like one of those levels in that where it was just it exploded.
The UFC was literally broke. The Ultimate Fighter happened, and then finally they were able to not only turn profit, but able to reinvest in it. And so they were able to keep the Ultimate Fighter going, make like a basically soap opera style show.
Sure, it's like only because there was that touch of reality.
Right.
People got that little touch of like that hit. Like, look, they're dramatic. They're upset. They're sad. Rampage is smashing a door, like with his head. You know, that's why I was like, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, dude, it's the best. And the reason why I enjoy it, like you're talking about, as far as sports go, it's the best way to see like what somebody's made of. Because the truth is you're going to lose, like, unless you're John Jones, every single person who's stepped inside the octagon has lost inside of the octagon. So, you know, it says a lot about a person, how they handled that loss and how they redeem themselves in a lot of ways. And sometimes, you know, you might be at the end of your career, you can't get back on necessarily the winning horse in the cage, but like that doesn't mean, like we're talking about Vanderlei Silva, Rampage Jackson, Chael Sonnen. If you look at those three, I appreciate the fact that Rampage Jackson is now on a podcast. He's on the Jackson podcast. They're talking. He's doing all that stuff. That's good. Chael Sonnen has been basically a reporter for several years now. So he's bringing people that were fans of his into the fold. Now he's talking to their kids, you know?
Yeah.
And so now the revolution of those kids, the guys that are fighting in the UFC now started training MMA versus started wrestling or started karate or whatever it may be. And so the growth is really cool to watch, but at the same time, I know Alex will say the same thing as me. Growth and being responsible to shareholders changes the dynamic of something, right? So like if you go and look at the BKFC, right? It's enjoyable because you know that David Feldman, the guy who is the president and owner of the BKFC, is calling the shots and like he's involved. And if they decide to go a different direction, they have the flexibility to. Where with the UFC,
is he involved in that?
yes, he's part owner as well. And so now he's also obviously has say, but he's doing really well, or at least I think he's doing really well. But with the UFC, now they're so big and there's so many people involved, they have things that they have to do. And the things that they have to do get in the way of the things that we used to enjoy sometimes. Like sometimes the volume of the cards takes over versus the quality. Like the past two cards, there's been great fights without a doubt. But as far as like pre-sale ticket value, if you're going to buy a ticket and you know Dustin Poirier or Max Holloway's on the card, you know exactly what you're paying for. When somebody's earning that, it's kind of a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I was wondering, what do you think? Football? UFC?
Well,
What you got?
so I personally, in order of like, if I could only watch one thing till the end of time, yeah, so college football and UFC are definitely my top two. If I had to throw a third sport of watching in it, it's probably golf now. I love golf.
You?
I love golf. I've played golf my whole
I
life.
forgot dirt bikes was a thing.
I just don't watch it.
No, he's never been into that kind of thing, dude.
So I think that's why I enjoy it, is the you got to show what you're worth, and it's only you and your bike. But like UFC, that's why I would love to plug in more, because you just see what they're about,
Right.
and it's there for the view of boxing. It's there for the view. Like, you got to put it out there. That's why I like it. Team sports is cool, but man, you can rely on so many people. Like, everybody's kind of playing bad. You can just kind of play bad.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the ring, dude. There's nobody else to fall on.
Right.
It's gonna be choked to death. That's on you. Like, so, yeah.
Yeah, but going back to that, man, I'm glad you brought that back up because, like I was saying, Parker, he rode for basically our entire lives, rode after that. Went out in the world, got himself a big boy job, moved off. And then after he moved back, well, me and him kind of moved back by proxy. Me and him both moved to Atlanta basically at the same time. Didn't we have a blast?
Yeah, but it's crazy because like a lot of people that are gonna see this don't like they ain't left the hometown
Right.
ever. A lot of people haven't left Trussville or Birmingham or wherever they're from. We moved multiple times each. Military. I moved way up. Like we moved so many times, and then stayed in touch. Just didn't talk quite as frequent. And then all of a sudden, like 6 months of not talking, he's like, "Hey, didn't you say you're in Atlanta?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "What part?" I tell him. He's like, "Oh shoot, I'm 30 minutes away." Like, and that was cool.
Yeah.
That was a cool part of life.
Yeah. And so we picked up with that. We ended up, well, I guess I can say the whole truth now. So we ended up going out, and we went out and had a good time. And I'm not really sure what occurred, but we ended up,
Dude, yeah, we could talk about it. I forgot.
Yeah,
We
dude.
really talked
so
about it
we ended up,
much.
this is what I remember. We went out, and down in Buckhead, basically, there's a strip of bars. And I accidentally took some coworkers there one time, and it was right after COVID. Completely dead, dude. The most boring place I'd ever been to. But I'm not going to name names of the bars, but there's some obvious strips, and then there's another place that's kind of to the side. So we go down there, and we're like hog wild, dude, because, you know, the best bars in Birmingham are like, okay, compared to Atlanta. And more people, right, more people. And this was, you know, there was still social media and everything, but it wasn't as big. So people were kind of acting themselves still. And we went out, dude. We ended up getting a little bit hammered. I remember we ended up in a country bar. I remember that I ended up booty dancing.
Dude, we went from having a good time to like the next morning.
Yes.
Man. And there was some booty dancing on some girls that wouldn't have been like your first pick.
They were my first pick because I was not being a bad human. I was trying to have a good time and actually dance.
He was having a good time. And yeah, continue, dude. Man.
But yeah, so listen, long story short, we wake up at the crack of like 3:45 p.m. with like 57 missed calls of people trying to drive to Atlanta to come and find our corpses. And
we're dead. We're actual people.
I swear to God.
We were dead.
Yeah.
You know, we had stuff to do, and then the next morning, like we disappeared. Ultimately, we disappeared from like 9 p.m. to 3 p.m. the next day.
Yeah.
Jeez.
We were completely off the map. And so it was a little bit of a mess. So I wake up and I'm like, damn, I'm in my full clothes.
Dude,
Shoes and all.
that's how we slept, like belt and everything. I'm like, damn, that's how he looked.
Yes,
Like,
I swear to
that's
God.
how he looked just in the bed.
So we get up and I'm like, damn, I pick up my phone. I got like 37 missed calls. I look over at Parker's phone. His phone is just like continually blinking. I'm like, hey, dude, wake up. I reach in my pocket, dude. We pull out, I swear to God, I pulled out no less than 10 business cards for these strip clubs that are in Atlanta.
Vouchers, dude.
Yeah.
Vouchers.
And I was like, I know for a fact we didn't go to a strip club. How did I end up with all these in my pocket? Oh, and then, so we went our separate ways, went and apologized to the people that needed apologizing to.
Yeah, but here's the kicker. We didn't think this happened. Like we thought we were good. But didn't one of us pay for a limo service or something?
Yes, yes. Because that was the only way to get home because it was like 4:30 in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning. And outside down there, like I was saying, it's when it was hot. And this is when Uber and Lyft were brand new and still cheap and not like you got to ride with 57 other people. You actually just paid for the car by itself. That's a different story, right? But anyway, yeah, so there was a limo right there, and that was much more efficient than waiting for an Uber.
Freaking limo, dude, and not a regulation, like
No.
the next day. Yeah, so we've had, you know, to say the least, we
Yeah.
were talking yesterday about it, like 20-something years.
Yeah.
20, 33, I mean,
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah. After that, I went, did some Army stuff, came back 20 weeks later, and was like, hey, I got rid of my apartment. I'm going to buy a house. Can I stay with you?
Can I crash?
And he was like, yeah. So, dude, I literally moved in with him. It was the best roommate experience I've ever had in my entire life.
Dude, it was awesome.
Dude, literally, first off, me and Parker are so clean, so clean, so clean. Did I ever cause you any problems? Did I ever?
No, dude, it was awesome. That was one of those moments I thought would like hopefully go on forever.
Yes.
Like, man, we could just do this.
Yes.
Like to go game was, see, dude, go separate ways. We go put the headset on.
And you'll be gaming together
Right
from
there,
different
like,
rooms.
Yes.
bro, it was awesome. Or yeah, and to continue, we got into rugby.
Yeah.
He was in it. He drug me into it. So dude, it was like a couple days a week. We jump in the truck, drive 30, 40 minutes to rugby practice, come home, cook, eat, like whatever the case. It was awesome.
It was a good time,
It was a
dude.
good time.
Rugby was sick, wasn't it?
It was.
Dude, it's a lot better than people think. People are afraid of it. And, you know, people always look at me weird. You know, I'm not huge. I'm like 160, 165 pounds, maybe. And they would look at me and say, like, wow, you play rugby? And it's like, yeah. And there's also people that are 5'2" and 140 pounds that I've seen that dominate. And there's also people that are 6'5" and 320 pounds that will erase you from this earth.
Yeah.
And that's what's fun about the sport, you know?
I wish like viewers out there would, if you could drag. Did you ever watch it or get into it or
Oh,
something?
I played rugby.
He played high school. I got him into high school rugby.
That's right. That's right. So you know, I almost think rugby. I don't know. It's almost, if you could keep up with it, almost more interesting than football, or especially like it, dude. It's a badass combat sport. Like it's very physical, but you know, people aren't they're not gonna get it until you go see it. Then it's like, dude, he just snapped his leg right there. Like
You were there for that. You were there for when that guy broke his leg in the middle of the
what's his
field.
name? Anderson.
Yeah, Anderson.
Yeah, snapped his like, and 5 minutes in, like we weren't even like super deep in, dude. Yeah.
And he was like, go on without me. And I was like, well, you bet.
Yeah, but like, and you get super close. Like you train so hard and like everything's like so tight that when when your boy snaps his leg, you almost shed a tear. Like, I'll go on.
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, that's the thing about rugby. Like some of my best friends, and, you know, Alex will tell you too, rugby was one of the best experiences as far as being able to experience different cultures, people from different backgrounds. It introduced me into all kinds of different stuff. I mean, from politics to sexuality. I mean, everybody's different in rugby.
Young, old,
Yes.
45-year-olds that will erase you.
Right.
Like, go and see it.
Right. You've got a 45-year-old who's like decrepit and like wants to get in for 5 minutes and is just doing it for exercise. You've got a 45-year-old who's on like massive amounts of gear and runs a 4.75 and he's 250 pounds and he's trying to kill you. You've got regular people with regular jobs. You got college kids. You got guys that work in restaurants.
Athletes.
Right. You've got rich people. You've got poor people. You've got all of it.
But listen, for anybody listening, if you ever see a bald man walk out in a kilt or any type of skirt, he's not the one to mess with.
No, dude.
Dude, there was once or twice we went to a field. I don't remember where that was. It was their little stadium, and bro, they turned Irish music on. They're coming out. And I remember thinking, like, oh my God, dude, they're gonna kill us. Like, we're about to die. And like the last dude to walk out was like 6'4", bald, and had a skirt on. I was like, oh, there he is. Like,
Yeah.
God, what'd you think about it?
So this is one of the biggest takeaways, and you'll know exactly what I'm saying. There's like cliques in rugby, like obviously the pack and the backs kind of have a split or whatever, and there's these cliques of people. But this is the only kind of clique that I've ever seen exist that would die for another clique. Like all of those backs would die for all of those pack, and all of those pack would die for all of the packs.
And then you go, I mean, I guess y'all wouldn't know this, but then you go drink beer with everybody afterwards.
Exactly.
And they post you.
Yep.
Dude, it's cool, man. It almost like, we can get into that later, but like if the Christian side of things, like, dude, you hate them and you're breaking their body. And then afterwards, it's like, wow, man, you were awesome. Let's go drink beer. And we'll host you.
Yeah.
We'll host you at our favorite bar.
Yeah. And a lot of the really good places, man. And seriously, thank you to all of the places that ever hosted me for rugby. Thank you to all my friends that I played rugby with. I mean, you wouldn't believe the impact it has had on me, my opinion of the world. I love you guys. Thank y'all for real. But they break bread with you too. Most of the time, they'll cook you food.
Mm-hmm.
They give you a drink. They talk to you, man. They're so nice. Like literally, you'll be looking across the field, like I'm going to try to take this guy out, like kill him. And then as soon as it's over with, they're like, "Dude, you hit me hard." And you look at them, you go, "I've been concussed since like 20 minutes." I don't remember anything, brother. They're like, "Nice 3 tries," and I'm like, "I thought I scored once."
Yeah, dude. It's I forgot you played.
Yeah, Alex was awesome. Let me tell a story about him.
You're not built to play.
Oh, dude,
You're like, compared to me and him, like you're built to play.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Alex, let me tell you a story about Alex playing rugby. So I go to college. I start playing rugby. I get introduced to rugby through, like we're talking about, men's club rugby. And then had a really, really good dude who was in the Army also, who kind of was able to relate to me and kind of talk to me like an adult and treat me well, but while I'm still learning, you know what I mean? Got into UAB's program, had a bunch of old guys and young guys from Birmingham's men's club that was like really pouring into us. Figured out all that, all the while. There's a couple different guys who actually started the Alabama youth rugby program, and there's a few different teams now actually. So they had touch rugby and they had full contact rugby for high school. So when they had full contact rugby for high school, Alex was on one of their teams. And it's so funny because life really comes down to this. And it's
In high school?
yes,
You played when you were in school?
Mm-hmm.
he was like 17.
Dude,
Yes.
I bet you walk around the school like you bunch of sissies.
Yes.
Because you're playing, it's a man's sport. It's not it doesn't come across as a school sport.
No.
And I know it circles back because they're 45, they're grown, all that, but like it's not a child sport.
No.
And so I bet walking around school, you were like, man, don't even talk to me.
Well,
Like,
I played high school rugby, and then I started my junior year. My senior year, I was playing with the men's
With the big
league,
boys.
with the college, with the high school.
dang,
And like that was really the moment, because like high school rugby's one thing, but like when you've been out there with
30-year-olds.
behemoths
Mhm.
of men, that if you told me today I had to tackle him, I wouldn't want to do it for sure, because I've been run over by that guy before. You go back to high school after that, and you're like, y'all don't even know.
No clue.
Like this is
No
insane.
clue. Yeah, dude.
When Alex came out to play for us for the college team, we would have people that quit somewhere along the year, but they have what's called a SIP, and it's like your health insurance registration. And so I would just say that he was one of the people that had quit. And then whenever we were warming up and stuff and the referees were around, I would just tell him, don't put any of his stuff on, just look like a regular person. And then we would literally just go out there, he'd change last minute, go out there and play.
I'm Joe Johnson.
Yeah. But listen, when Alex was in high school, he still was learning the rules, you know, and a lot of the Birmingham men's club guys were kind of teaching him all that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I always pick up on little parts of sports and I try to catch them. Like in wrestling, I had a bad stance to most people, but the reason why it was bad was because I knew that it led to a benefit for me. Like if somebody grabbed my leg and I'm almost a foot taller than them, like they're going for a ride. You see what I'm saying? So what may look like a bad choice ends up being a good choice. And with rugby, there's rules where you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. And then as soon as this one little piece changes, you can immediately do this. And so one of those being when somebody gets tackled, you know, they've got to set the ball backwards. So they present the ball backwards toward their team. And then somebody's supposed to come over and ruck over the top of them. Well, the person that is setting that ruck has to keep the ball between their feet. If the ball comes out from in between their feet, then technically the ball is out.
Mm-hmm.
And the rule that I learned was that if a bird could poop on it, then the ball is out, right? And so I tell Alex, I say, hey, man, watch these guys. The kids are learning the rules too. So I know that one of these kids is going to mess this rule up. If they step over that ball's out. You don't have to be on the defensive side anymore. Go straight past them, pick the ball up, and run directly to the try zone. Don't stop under any circumstance. And I swear to God, dude, they literally are coming down to like, it was the championship, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The championship, they're like running out of time. Dudes are extra time. Dudes are driving on them. And I'll be damned, dude. They set a ruck. Dude steps over it. Alex literally goes up to the edge. The guys on his team that are in the ruck kind of lose ground. When they do, that kid takes a step. Alex says, that's it. Picks it up, runs directly to try and scores. There's a picture in my parents' house where his teammates hold him up and he looks like an eagle, you know? And that was
moment, dude.
that was like the proudest day.
There it is. Retired.
Yes.
Like, wow, it gets no better. I'm out.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah.
See you later. Alex signs off.
Yeah. But rugby was awesome for us, man. And I'm glad that we got to share that together too,
That's
you know?
cool. Yeah, it was very cool, dude.
Yeah.
That is a man sport.
Yeah, it is.
That shit stuff. But it goes hand in hand. UFC, y'all like that. It's all like relative, but
Oh, yeah. But yeah, so after that, basically, we get done with all that. We kind of go our separate ways, you know. Parker ends up moving back here. I end up moving back here at different times. So we've been back here in the state for a little bit. Now we're able to get to spend a little bit more time together. And, you know, yeah, well, dude, honestly, I feel like as men, we have so many responsibilities and so many things that we have to take care of that I make a really bad friend out of myself by saying, I always have something to do, because the truth is that I'll always have a responsibility to my family. I'll always have a responsibility to my children.
Yeah.
And there's always something that could be done to better it for them. And we need to keep that in mind. But especially just with the recent events, we're sitting a week removed from the assassination of a man on a college campus where people are supposed to be able to share ideas. And that's where I got exposed to it, through rugby, through the fraternity, able to meet people of different backgrounds, to learn more, open my worldview. Like you're talking about, want to talk about hate speech and stuff. Sometimes people yelling mean things at me helped me learn more about the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And helps me open my worldview. And so I believe that it's really important for people to be able to go and talk to each other. And I think on a micro level, when you're in high school and we have those moments where you're able to go over to your buddy's house and you're able to have some downtime. And the reason why men conglomerate to video games still today, and women are like, why do you play games? And the truth is because I don't even care about the game. It's because I'm going to hop on, I'm going to join a party, and I'm going to talk to my buddies. And I'm going to go, hey, dude, does your life suck too? And they're going to go, yeah, it's crazy.
It is camaraderie.
Yeah.
Which you've gotten good at them. And so you do your thing. It's a little different, but like that foundation is because you get to jump on with your buddies. You're playing. We want to be good. I don't know what y'all like, but I know how you are and how I am. I want to win. So like I do enjoy playing. But yeah, it's camaraderie, and it's good. Man, it's good.
Dude, it's good for the soul. And so, kind of like you were talking about when you first got here, I know you're a little bit nervous about the whole, like, well, you guys are a UFC podcast. Like, what are we going to do? What are we going to talk about? And the truth is, dude, I started this podcast in order to get to here, because I recognized that a shortcoming in my life was that I had lost the ability to, number one, have somebody to lean on, and number two, to be a man that people can lean on. And being in the military and having soldiers that even, they're not calling me with major emergencies or whatever, but they know that they can call me, and they do call me. You know what I mean? And then to get out of the Army and then have people still calling on me, and then have something like the assassination of Charlie Kirk happen, and I have people calling on you. And it's like, I know that both of you guys have that. And I know that every man that is even relatively paying attention, that's not completely Prozac'd out, is feeling that right now. You know what I mean?
Which one do I need to look at here?
Yeah, any of them, it doesn't matter. But yeah, man, I think that this is what's really important. And the reason why I made this podcast is to be able to sit down with people that I care about.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, I agree. I'm glad you did it, but you have it. But something I want to touch base on that I guess we're gonna run away and forget it is and are you good with the 2 week?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, heck, you tell them, man.
So I am going to be a father for the first time, not this coming Friday, but the next.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is our induction day, and I am so pumped. And I've told everyone that asks me how I feel this exact thing, and everyone tells me this. I say that I'm nervous, and they always say, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
And I'm like, man, because it is a huge responsibility, and it is everything. Like, I've emotionally put everything behind this little girl who's not even here yet. Like, I've been talking just spiritually with a few of my buddies about like what it means to be a father and stuff like that. And it's everything.
Yeah.
It's literally
Changes you.
Yeah. And I'm so excited. I could not be
That's awesome.
I could not be more excited, but I am nervous. And I think being nervous is a good thing, because I'll be on the lookout for constantly things I'm doing wrong that I can correct and learn and grow along with her.
Once you have your child, I look back when you circle back and he was over there and he then had a child, and there was I saw him really start to grow up and like responsibility really start. And anybody that's young or old and you just have a job, that's not really what this world's like. That's not responsibility. As once you have a family and a child, dude, he was growing like leaps and bounds, and it was just leaving me in the dust. And I was like, damn, Alan, don't want to. You trying to whatever it was? And he's like, no, I can't. I can't. And that's why I was asking. It's hard to almost relate to people that don't, and be friends with people that don't, because the maturity, the time, the responsibility, they don't have that yet. for the most part. I know like life you do, but you're gonna see, dude, it's cool. It's gonna, like I said, you think you're busy, and then you have a child, dude, you're swamped. And it's cool. You're gonna love, you have your nieces and nephews, and like you're going to love them so much more because of it. Like you think you love them, but you don't really, like, not like you think. And then once you have yours and you appreciate how precious those children are, like stomping upstairs and running around, like, then you really love them.
Yeah.
It's cool, dude. I'm excited for you. I totally forgot. And that's why I wanted to like briefly touch on it, because I forgot. And I saw that date up there. And it's close.
Mm-hmm.
It's close.
Yep. Not even a full 2 weeks. Not even full 2 weeks. Just
Excited?
Dude, it's beautiful to me. With Alex, I love, how much I love my brother. I don't have to sit here and profess it. I think it's pretty self-evident. And I think that's what love is self-evident, And I know he's going to do a great job. The best thing that I can tell you is you won't be nervous, because that nervousness will turn to straight fear. So you don't have to worry about
Show.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about if things could happen. Now you understand that now you're literally fighting a percentage game.
Yes, because they're going to happen.
Right.
These things are going to happen. If your kid can get on this desk, he's going to get on it. And he's probably going to jump off of it head first. Dude, and you have multiple.
Oh, man.
Like,
they all scorpion themselves.
yeah, dude. It's cool. I don't know where this goes, like outside of having a topic, UFC or fighting or football or whatever it is. It's cool, like you said, you created this for you and your friends, and it's cool because circling back, like Alex is still little shit Alex for me, and I always will be. I don't care if you're a multi-billionaire and you have 20 kids, like he's still Alex. But it's really cool to grow up with your boys, and everybody can relate to this. Like they all have their boys and friends and girls and girlfriends, but like it's a very surreal moment when you really step back and think about, like, you got multiple kids. We're all like doing well. We're healthy. Like, and yeah, dude, now little Alex, have a kid.
Yeah.
If not only are we doing well and healthy, but our hair's turning gray and falling out, and our cells are now deteriorating at a level that's faster than they regenerate themselves.
Yeah, dude. So and that's cool. That's also what I was meaning though, is when you see yourself getting old.
Yeah.
Like I think any following, anybody you share this with, will like connect some, because I almost want to say like 30s. Like when you hit 30, man, like you start getting old. You're getting old. You don't know it. But when you turn 30, dude, it's like something happens and you realize it. I think that's when like you full circle starts turning back, and yeah. So, anyways, I'm excited for you, dude.
Like you're talking about, you realize the gravity of things, and it's like, I'm so happy because I know how hard it's been, and I know how much you've been through. And so, like I said, I'm not going to just sit here and just freak out over you, because I'm not going to try to make you emotional. You know what I mean? But you know where I stand, man, and I'm super proud of you, and I know you're going to do a great job. And the truth is that you'll never be the man that you want to be. There'll always be a man you're chasing in your head to be, and that's a good thing. That means that you're paying attention and you're trying. And the best thing that you can do to kids is be available and try. Every kid that I know, even if they say, oh, well, me and my parent disagree about this or that or whatever, they care about their mom and dad. Mm-hmm. And the reason why isn't because they're a good or bad parent. It's because they were part of their life.
But I can't wait, once you get past all that, let's say a year in, we're going to circle back and you're going to be like, oh, dude, I love Fred. Like, I love those children up there so much differently. Like, the difference, dude. Like, because you'll connect to them. Yeah. You'll have had all that time with yours. And so you'll get, like, those little breakdown moments, like, or whatever it is, whatever they do, you'll understand it, like, a little better. So it's cool. That'll be a cool period. But,
I'm excited for it because I do love them a lot. I always tell everybody I'm the uncle of the year. I want that award every year for the rest of time.
I've heard.
Even after I
heard.
have my child.
Oh, dude.
I want uncle of the year until
we get that time. I'm telling you, bro. I promise. I can't wait. 6 months, we'll circle back, dude. And you're going to be that much closer. I'm excited. But hey, you're talking about, we were talking about faith. Once you have your kid, you're really going to realize there's something else other than you.
Yeah. I think that having kids makes you take an account of yourself. and you go, all right, if my children were in this situation, and say it's a positive or a negative, whichever one, but let's say you're on the giving end of that one. That's where, when you're a single person, you project every argument from. You never present from the other person's perspective, possibly like a person that isn't aware or whatever it might be, right? And once you have kids, you stop worrying about like all of the things that you did when you were in the driver's seat, and you start to consider what you did to other people. And so you don't talk about feeling horrible. That's how you do it.
I just wonder, like, what Creed or Nickelback song you were blaring when you pulled up your pickup. You know, like what?
Exactly.
You know, like who was
Yeah.
jamming? You know, like
It was probably like Papa Roach or somebody. I might have already been moved on to Rage Against the Machine. I've been on Rage Against the Machine today. I felt like it was just a fitting band to be listening to.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, I can either succumb to being the worst person and agree with the world that I'm a horrific human, or I can agree that I've done horrific things, that I'm a horrible person, and that I can spend every day for the rest of my life trying to improve upon that person.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like once you have children, it empowers you to make that choice. When you don't have children, you have no reason to make that choice.
yeah, you can just support yourself enough, or like whatever it is. But when you have kids, it's you have to, or you don't. You can be a crap bag, but like yeah, it empowers you. It gives you a very solid reason.
Yeah.
You know?
It gives you a why.
Yeah. Well, your why becomes not attached to you, which is the weirdest thing about having kids, right? Is like my why has always been attached to me or benefiting me, right? And now my why could be like, right now it's totally contradictory for like what I would enjoy. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's like sometimes you have to sacrifice for your children, and then it lets you know, I should sacrifice in my marriage. I should sacrifice in my friendships. I should sacrifice more of myself to the team. And when you think you've been a team player your whole life, and you've been the team captain, then you've done the rah-rah.
Yeah.
And then you realize like that's
Right.
life.
Dude, you're right. You're right. It might have, even having kids might open you up to being a better friend.
Right.
Definitely better husband and all that, but maybe better friend too. Because you realize, like you said, you need to be there for somebody to lean on. You might not come off that way. You might think you are, and then you realize how much somebody needs you, because your kid needs you more than anything.
Right.
And then it puts you in check. Like, yeah, maybe I'm not that good of a friend like you think, but yeah.
Sorry, we just stressed you out.
No,
Pretty
no,
good.
I love it. I was just thinking about what he said, talking about leaning on people. And like my whole life, I've been super blessed in this way. I've always been emotionally healthy enough to be the leanee, not the leaner, and been the ear for lots of people and whatnot. And literally this week has been the first week in my life where I have maybe ever felt that, of
Really?
everything, because with the baby stuff coming up and all the normal stresses of life that are about to happen, along with how crazy the world has been just this week. And
Bad timing.
this is one of the first times in my life where now I'm super thankful for my buddy Daniel Lee. Love you to death, brother.
He's the best.
But man, I just had to get out a bunch of problems that I was fighting through, just personally in my heart, spiritually, and just like physical health wise, like just mental health wise, whatever you want to call that. Just everything, and getting it out was so great. And I've talked with Alan about a bunch of things that have been bothering me this week, and just getting it out for not the first time ever. Cause I mean, obviously you go
Vent it
live.
before.
Yeah.
We've had it before.
And you vent here, you vent there, but it's never been like something that has mattered to me emotionally that much. Like, cause I feel like as you grow up, you build calluses at certain levels. You're like, oh my gosh, the world is ending when you're 6 years old. And you're like, my dad just ripped my Nintendo 64 out of the wall and the TV shook. Oh, and then, and now like literally, if you hypothetically lived in your parents' house as a 30-year-old, it couldn't bother you.
Yeah.
You'd be like, that is the most minute thing
Right.
ever.
You'd be looking at him like, why?
Yeah, and it's these like emotional calluses that build as you're growing as a human through life. And I feel like I've done a really good job of my calluses being built and pacing myself through life. And I've had the little vent sessions here and there. But like this week, I just felt like blowing up. And I don't mean like blowing up in anger. I mean, just like I had so many thoughts and emotions and things. It felt like it was going to explode out of me. And I just had to vent as much as I could, vent as much as I could, and then vent as much as I could. And then I finally just at the end of it went,
Yeah. Dude, what do you have?
yeah, I
I
know.
don't give a crap.
Yeah.
Well, dude, like you're talking about, I mean, it's hard having children. And then you literally get TikToked into a murder like a couple weeks before you have a child.
Mm-hmm.
The person that gets shot is speaking on family and is speaking on togetherness and Christianity for the most part. We all say things that we don't agree with or don't agree on. There's never really an excuse for anyone to resort to violence in that manner. And that's heavy when you're having kids, you know? And so I know this has been tough on you, but the truth is that the only thing that you can control is in your local sphere of influence. And so if you can keep your home correct, you can keep yourself correct, and you can keep you like we're talking about, your close-knit friends around you, then you're able, like we're talking about, regardless of whatever may happen, at least you have somebody to share in the struggle and or sorrow with. And I think that that's what life's about. I mean, if we were cavemen and we were out hunting mammoth all day, like, do you think that the mammoth is what builds it, or do you think sitting at the campfire after doing something hard together?
Oh, it's them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, man, it's needed.
Dude,
And so
I want to know how they conversed.
how they conversed, well, it depends on if you believe in evolution or not. And that's going to have to be about a 7-hour podcast for me, because I believe in microevolution. I don't believe in macroevolution. And then I also know for a fact that a lot of those people never even made it into our genealogy. And so, like, through 23andMe. So, which gave my data away to China. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys. Yeah. If you're looking into getting your DNA scanned, don't. How about that? That's the best thing that you can do. If you're thinking about putting your personal information online, don't. If you're thinking about posting risky things on any sort of social media, probably don't. Turns out everything stays forever and the internet lasts forever. So
They told us that.
yeah,
They told us that.
yeah. So be careful, because people are evil.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. We saw that firsthand this week.
Yeah. And dude, like you're talking about, everything's going to be okay. And it may not seem like everything's going to be okay, but rest assured knowing that if it is a turn upward and the world does great like it has every other time, and the United States specifically,
Mm-hmm.
then it's going to be great, just like it's always been. If it takes a turn negatively, then our people have proven that in the most negative times, we're the most resilient and capable people in the world. And the entire world looks at us as such, and we'll act accordingly. And so all of the other noise is really useless. There's no sense in fighting over all the silly stuff like we're talking about. You want to fight over Democrat and Republican, and they have the Epstein files and they will not give it to us. They say we're going to give you the JFK files, and they redact all of it and give you basically zero information. If you look through AI, they basically can tell you zero more than all of the books and everything that were already written. And everybody said that those books were not real. So, look into 9/11, that's a different story.
what do you think? Do you want to touch on what was going on?
We can talk about anything you want to talk about, and I'm totally fine at this point. And I talked to Alex a little bit about this off air, but I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so I've not talked about a lot of stuff for fear of possibly offending people or running into a lane that I'm not supposed to, or whatever my brain has created. And the truth is like, if I'm posting online, then I'm available for the public to ridicule, period. And the worst thing that I could do is present something that's not really authentic. And the truth is that I don't even have hot takes. I just have takes that are not the immediate thing that Fox News or
Got a
CNN
take.
put out. Right.
Is it hot?
I mean, it's medium,
Fine,
but to like we're talking about to the Gen Z kids, I mean, it's pretty lukewarm.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And when you've got grandparents now who are talking about conspiracy theories and talking about things and understanding that the chemtrails were real and atrazine turning the frogs gay is actually real. And I had a dentist the other day, one of the most respected dentists in the entire state, tell me that fluoride was a vitamin. I didn't say anything because I wasn't going to make a scene. But like,
It's a vitamin.
you need to understand that your healthcare provider don't know what's going on, and so it's incumbent upon the own individual to educate themselves, and then you can use those professionals and their level of expertise and their experience to then make an educated choice.
Yeah.
But most of my opinions are a personal choice. So
Yeah.
But yeah, we can talk about whatever you want to. Whatever you want to roll into, brother. What do you want to talk about?
I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
What do you start where
Where you want to lead?
You're the one that
You
brought
had something in mind. Let's do it.
I don't care. Are you looking at all this?
Oh yeah.
Israel, all shebang.
Oh yeah.
Big
I
mouth.
know you are. I know you are.
Yeah.
What do you say?
So it's hard to draw a conclusion of what exactly happened this week, specifically just in this one instance. But what I will say, what I can draw a conclusion to, is I don't like dual citizenship. I don't think you should be a dual citizen of anywhere. I think you should be a citizen of whatever country you belong to. I think we have way too many people, specifically in our CDC, that are dual citizens of Israel. The top 7 positions in our CDC, the American CDC, are dual citizens.
See, there's typically a trail like 250 of them. What did I see?
I'm not sure. I don't pay attention to the CDC for any circumstance. Not even.
No. What? Then we got like 250 of them. Just took them.
Oh well, they always go to Israel, but my thing is to kind of get us to where we're trying to head here. I know history. I went to college. I got educated in Western civilization. Those were the histories that I focused on, right? Also took astronomy and astrology, right? Or not astrology, astronomy and earth science, right? And so through that education, I learned about Mesopotamia, things like that, learned about the pyramids, all that kind of thing. Loved Ancient Aliens, was just like every other brother.
Dude,
I love chilling out on the couch.
Ancient Aliens, dude.
Right.
Pyramids. So
Right. Got into the Emerald Tablets, learned a little bit about that kind of craziness, brother. Woo-wee. But I'll check out anything and I'll give anything the right to speak because I'm willing to look into it. And the biggest takeaway for me that I've realized that people are asking me about, they didn't realize, is that Israel, the country, was founded in like 1948. It's not from biblical times. Once Jesus died, the state of Israel remained a country in Jerusalem. A lot of things occurred over that course of time. A lot of people like to use the Bible to like manipulate their own gain. And I don't think that I'm smart enough to fully interpret the Bible in the first place on my own, but I'm trying to read it as much as I can. And from what I've gathered from the Bible, like the Jewish people, like let's say genetically, right? Just like all of the other people of the Middle East, they didn't have like state lines and these types of things that we're used to, or country lines and all that. Those were always changing and wars were always being fought all of the time. Then even after Jesus, the Holy Land transitioned hands, all those things. But I say all that to say, not all people that are genetically Jewish or live in Israel are even Jewish or Christian or Muslim. They could be agnostic, they could be atheist. All people have the option and free will to be whatever they want to be, almost everywhere. I mean, even in the more hostile environments, you can still choose to pick the one that they may kill you over, but you still got the free will to pick.
who can do it?
You know what I mean? And so I just wanted to say that to say that there's a lot of difference between talking about Israel currently in history, in present tense, right? Where we just wrote a check for government aid or for military aid to them. And then they immediately turned and spent $50 million with Google and with Facebook or somebody. It's Google and somebody else to run, YouTube. It's YouTube and Google to run basically Gaza's not a famine genocide ads.
Really?
And I don't believe that you should be able to advertise for medication. I don't believe that you should be able to advertise for war or politics. I think you should have to be able to create your own platform and be self-funded and people support you. You know, that's the reason why people are mad about Charlie Kirk being dead. It's not because, oh, well, he's just like this guy that everybody embodies. It's the fact that he had built up a real grassroots following. And then it had also been springboarded by a bunch of other people. And he was in the stratosphere. I mean, he is talking next president several years down the road. You know what I mean? And so that's why people are upset. And when you get into that and you get a story that, like we're talking about, I don't know. I'm not in the FBI. I'm not in the CIA. I'm not in the military currently. But like I know people that do all of those things. And the scariest thing that I learned in the military was like how close to nothing you know and how close to everything you know. Like as a regular citizen, I would say, you know, like 1 out of 10, everything that's going on.
Yeah.
In the military, I would say once you get to the officer level and you get up into the middle ranks and like middle management, what I call in the military, you understand laundry contracts for military bases in foreign countries. And then you find out that, oh, well, most of the attacks on our military bases are through third-party contracting where people stole military uniforms and snuck onto the base and then attacked people. And then you go, well, why do we not do that ourselves? And then that's a completely different story, right? Because then you get into who's funding the PACs. Right. It's only a war crime the first time. It's never a war crime the first time, excuse me.
Yep.
But, you know, you get off into the weeds. And then you get into who's making the policy that supports that kind of stuff in the first place. And for me, I've always been pretty no nonsense. I'm going to admit the things that I don't know. I don't understand how the legislative branch of government works. I don't understand the judiciary branch. I'm not going to sit here and act like I do. I understand right and wrong. I understand that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself in a jail cell. And if he's dead and there's people alive that can be prosecuted for pedophilia, then there's no politician in the world that should vote no. And I don't care if your party tells you no. I don't care if somebody gave you money. I don't care if that person's from Iran. I don't care if that person's from Israel. I don't care where you're from. I expect you to stand on what the community wants. Because I promise you, I've talked to straight, gay, trans people, white people, black people, every single thing that you could imagine, I've spoke to. You know how many people have said, I don't want to know who's on the Jeffrey Epstein list? 0. And so if we can't figure that out, then that's a failure on our government. And the people that we pay $175,000 a year that come out after 4 short years, multimillionaires that are insider trading, need to pay. And I don't care about Democrat or Republican. I'd prefer nobody vote ever. That's what I prefer. And go, we're not participating. You know what Nepal just did? They just burnt down their capital and they had an election on Discord, which is a video game server.
Really?
They invited every person to the country. You can hold like 2 million people in a single Discord server now.
Really?
They invited everybody to the country and they voted by no crashing, voted by popular vote, voted in who they wanted elected. They took out officials and beat them in the streets. Live on camera. Go watch it.
Hey.
It's the craziest thing ever. I'm worried that Gen Z might do that either way, the Antifa or the Proud Boys. I'm worried that those people might have a civil war that I'm not even invited to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just out cutting my grass and I just see like the Antifa boys and the Proud Boys just out there duking it out in the street. And I'm like, I don't like none of y'all. Like, can you release the Epstein files?
Yeah.
Like, get lost. You know what I mean?
Drug them out, beat them, voted on Discord for the new officials.
And now, oh yeah, you want to know the kicker? So you know how we were talking about Dragon Ball Z earlier? So the young boys, they've got this new one that's called One Punch.
One Piece.
One Piece. They got a couple different ones, but One Piece is one of them.
One Piece?
It's an anime cartoon. They used the flag. It's a skull and crossbones with a straw hat on it.
I saw you share that.
They used it as their revolutionary flag, like the way that our flag was used when we became a country in 1776.
Do we know?
Now they have a new prime minister, and now they're a country.
How old is he?
It's a female, I believe, and I think she's probably in her like 70s to 80s. But she was actually part of the government in the 90s, and they had a revolution then, And I don't know if she got thrown out or how it worked, but she seems to be kind of like on the more, not like progressive in the way that America considers it, but like human rights progressive. You know what I mean? And so they voted her in by popular vote. I don't know if she's going to do good or bad or indifferent, but I know that they got 100% what they asked for.
Dang.
And so to me, I look at it and I go, yeah, I understand the electoral college and everything, but I got 2 degrees. Like, I've been in the military, I've traveled the world, I've played multi-sports. Like, shouldn't all of our votes weigh the same thing? Just because, like, I got that benefit. So I have like worldly experience. Doesn't the same person who has 0 experience, who also grew up like dirt poor in a trailer, had no chance to make it anywhere, doesn't their vote weigh enough to say, yeah, this is who I want as president, and popular vote be the only way that we pick anything? You know how many times the lottery's passed to like regular people in Alabama? Like 1 billion times. You know how many times the lottery's passed the judicial branch? 0. Legislative branch? 0.
Really?
You want to know why? Because they don't want it, because the people that are paying them money don't want it, because they are also getting kickbacks from Georgia and Mississippi and Florida to keep their lottery supplied by our money. Tennessee, all of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, poor Alabama.
They're just paying us not to have a lot.
Like I said, I'm done talking about things that are non-controversial, I guess. But yeah,
Here we are.
So Charlie Kirk said it only takes a few good men to stand back, meaning hold back, because his favorite thing is speech, for evil to prevail. I'm going to say that again. It just takes a few good men to stay back for evil to prevail. And that is so powerful because of who he was and what he did. Whether you agreed or disagreed, do you know what he agreed with everyone, should be everyone on? Your right to speak, your right to speak, my right to speak, and your right to speak. And we don't all have the exact same ideas. I might disagree with you on something. I might disagree with you on something. But guess what? We get to talk about it. Well, if you disagree with that, then you disagree with our Constitution. If you disagree with our Constitution, there's lots of other places. You can go anywhere. That's all there is to it.
yeah. And I mean, I guess that's where I'm at, is like, I view a lot of the things that I talk about as violations of the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand the panic of people that are uneducated to guns and to like have never shot or have only seen them in cases of fear. And I empathize deeply with people who have ever had a gun used in malice toward them, dude. I mean, don't get me wrong. Look, I understand what a gun will do, so I do not play with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Safety is the most principal thing that you have to keep in mind when it comes to guns.
That's
Sa-
brutal.
Guns are also the key to safety. If you don't understand that, then you don't understand why we're supplying weapons aid to people in the first place. The reason why we're giving them bombs is because it makes people stop shooting. The reason why you give people bullets is so they can shoot, right? And so I understand, while you think you're doing the heroic thing by trying to disarm the American citizen in the name of arming some other foreign entity, but I'll never agree with that. Never in my life will I let you send one bullet to any other country and tell me that we should have restrictions on our gun laws when you're taking our money and you're paying for somebody else to fight the war. You guys are aware of how many terrorist organizations that we propped up and funded to fight other terrorist organizations. We paid the Taliban to fight Russia in Afghanistan. Then we paid Osama bin Laden's dad to build all of the military bases, we built military bases because we were buying oil and sharing in oil profits from Saudi Arabia. When we did that, Osama bin Laden's dad built basically all of the critical infrastructure for that. So the whole time Osama bin Laden's looking and going, why are you guys agreeing with people that don't agree with us fundamentally? Why are you polluting our communities? I agree with this. I agree with people's right to have their own community, right?
Yeah.
And so you don't go into an Islamic country and then try to Americanize it. That's a disrespect to them. Like, just like it would be if somebody came into my country and tried to make me something I'm not, right? And so, boom, you have this oil boom. You got all these basically American people showing up and Americanizing, making strip malls, doing the thing we do, bringing a McDonald's, you know? And Osama bin Laden's going, these guys. turns out like he's getting supplied to fight the Russians all at the same time. They get done with Russia. They look at all this. I mean, where do you think motivation comes from? Right?
Do you think he raised his fist at McDonald's though?
He might have had a quarter pounder. He said,
But like maybe not McDonald's.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, he was drawing a line and then would block one of those and he'd be okay.
But yeah, when you know all that, then you realize like, oh my gosh, the only way that I can guarantee that foreign aid isn't used directly for an attack on the American public is to not give foreign aid anymore. And then you wonder, what does that look like? What is that going to take? What would that change? Well, if all of our friends only rely on us for kickbacks, like what type of friends are they, right? Like I was in the military. I trained with soldiers from other countries. Every place I ever trained, there was a soldier from a different country that was in an American training. It was a trade-off that they did something for us. And we said, we'll give you slots to this class, right? What happens when that country falls under the leader, like a dictator, like a different leader, an anti-American leader, right? Now they know all of our critical infrastructure technology. They understand the equipment we're using. And then we probably just sent them that equipment just 6 years before that. So they got it over there. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with killing anybody unless it's absolutely necessary in the defense of our nation. I don't agree with putting American lives or anyone else's life for that matter in trouble. That's why, like we're talking about, Israel, the country, versus Israel from the Bible is a different thing. And Israel, the country, is leveling churches. And Israel, the country, is literally bulldozing buildings. And then they're saying, we got maybe, I don't know, maybe 30,000. We don't know. You got to dig through the rubble to even determine if anybody's inside of there.
They are.
Hey, man, I understand being upset. I saw 9/11 on the television in 4th grade. And I said, my life will never be the same. I'm going into the military, right? By the time I got there, everything had changed, right? And then the more educated you get.
That was so funny when you said that the other day. Like you go in for one, but you come out, you're not even
fighting
the same.
Dude, I went in and we were fighting Al Qaeda. I came out and we were fighting ISIS. Like, I don't even know who ISIS is. I have to do research to figure out why I'm supposed to be upset with these guys in the first place, right? And so then you end up in a moral dilemma and they wonder why soldiers are killing themselves. They're not killing themselves because they necessarily even did horrific shit. Some of these people didn't even see action. They just sat on a base away from their family where they lost everything they could possibly have at home, came back to nothing, and had no support. And then realized, oh, we just gave the country back to the Taliban. Like the people that run Afghanistan are legitimately the Taliban.
Yeah.
So all of that sacrifice, all of those people that died, all of those people that did all those great things, it was absolutely honorable. It was absolutely in the defense of our nation, the best we could understand. And it was absolutely an honorable way to do it. But at the same time, now that I know the score, I look at it differently.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
It is. What are you thinking, Alex? I see you doing that 1,000-yard stare.
I was just thinking about all the wars of time and how they have played to how the world is today. Kind of how you said Israel is not the same place. Like the cities might have some of the same names, like Capernaum, Jerusalem. Like those might be the same places, but it's not the same state ruling over those places.
It has holy things there.
Yes.
It has ancient artifacts there for sure.
You can see the tomb where Jesus was put and came out of. Like, I can't even imagine what that is a sacred place. Now, do I agree with the state that it's in right now? Not entirely. No. I don't agree with most of the things I'm hearing right now with it. Like the bombing of Iran and all that just happened. As it was happening, I was going, why are we doing this? What is going on? Oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden I know, or next thing I know, there's a United States bunker buster plane flying over the top.
Yeah.
And we're dropping bombs.
And all I'm seeing is
why? I have no clue.
30-year war, 30-year war, 30-year war.
All I'm saying is I think there should be an explanation for that. And I'm not saying that Donald Trump has to be the guy to come out and say that, or Pete Hegseth or whatever. Somebody has to explain to the American people why we're spending trillions of dollars on something like that.
Right.
Because there was no go button hit on my side that said, yeah, we should do that. I don't know anybody who voted for that, and they definitely took their sweet time doing it. There could have been a vote for sure. Did they? No.
Nope. Never do.
It's not our place. It's not our war. None of it. And if you want to say, I get this, because I did have someone tell me this. Like I said, Jerusalem, Capernaum, like the tomb, all of those things are sacred. And they need to be protected.
Because the truth is like you're talking about, I understand that everybody's not Christian. I'm not even attempting to push Christianity on anyone. But it started with Jacob and Esau. Is that correct? Okay. So literally, since the beginning of time, these two peoples have been feuding. But it's not necessarily Palestine or Gaza or whatever they may represent. Okay. Israel is trying to unify land that hasn't been theirs since before 1948. Do you see what I'm saying? And their country was founded in 1948. And so they're trying to reunify land that people now live in. And even in the biblical times, people were living in. And so all through the Bible, all of these conflicts have always happened. And the truth is that is for them to sort out. Okay. I'm not saying that we allow a genocide by any means on any side, but I also am saying I don't allow a genocide on any side by any means. You can't be one way and the other way. Because look, dude, at the beginning of it, I'm not going to sit here and act like I was like, oh, this and that, because I was like, no, I understand. Like, they've got hostages. And I was like, they're obviously going to send like some really good Delta dudes or something over there. They're going to link up with Israeli special forces. The hostages are going to come out of the hole. It's going to be a John Wick movie in 10 years. It's good. And they're like, talk about flat earth. Okay. They were like, we're leveling this place to rebuild whatever they're going to build there. Right. Because who else is going to build it? Is Hamas going to pay for it? And then you're going to say Hamas is operating in the area. Well, Hamas is the only people in the area that's got any money in the first place, brother. You see what I'm saying? And the only reason why they have any money in the first place is because they're getting it outside of basically Gaza and Palestine. Do you see what I'm saying? Even if you don't have that stuff right now, how many things do you think we left in Afghanistan? I know officers that were there while it was going on, and they walked past football fields of things. The helicopters and all that stuff you saw and all that, that was like minimal. Don't forget the people you saw falling off the outside of a plane when we tell you we're going to take care of you. Hey, let me tell you
about that.
As somebody who's in the military, now look, I ain't got no Purple Heart. I'm no Tim Kennedy, brother. I ain't about to sit here and act like I'm something I'm not. Never deployed, nothing like that. To be an American soldier and to watch civilians, it don't matter because, dude, they teach you in the military, like the civilians are not part of what's happening right now. You tell that to the people falling off of the outside of a plane, brother. Those people are as involved as it gets. And that's the way that you do that. That's the way that you honor the life of people that sacrifice their life for 20 years for you to be able to hold this place.
Dude, just flying out.
Having Marines that their buddies got blown up and died, having those same Marines clean the space up for Al Qaeda to come and take it.
Yeah.
General Milley, General Lloyd Austin. There's some good military leaders out there. There are even better people in the ranks. The best people that you'll meet are E6 and below. They're the most hardest working people you've ever met. Dude, they will change your life. It's like looking at yourself just like right when you got out of high school, man, and you've got so much potential and they're going, man, I might go to college. I might get like a job doing this. Oh, the Army's offering me the ability to do this or that. Should I look into that? I helped 2 soldiers that were E4s at the time go to Special Forces Jumpmaster Halo School, which is it's high altitude, low opening, free fall, like you see in the movies using oxygen school. I had to fight every person above me in the entire group to get these kids to go. Every single person told me that they would fail. They had sent 3 soldiers in a row that had failed. All of them were E6 and above. I said, all it takes is a rank waiver because I can read. I went and got their rank waiver. I wrote them a personal letter of recommendation. I took it to my battalion commander. I said, sign this. He said, why? And I said, for the betterment of the troops, to give incentive to these guys to do something. And then they went and they dominated.
Did they do it?
Yeah. And guess what? They're both like E6s, E7s now. They flew right past everybody. You know why? Because they were the best qualified. They worked the hardest. They didn't talk a whole bunch. They weren't there to tell you about who they were. They were there to show you who they were, man. And talk about amazing soldiers, Cohen and Ring, bro. Could never be more proud of two soldiers for making me look right. Because you can only give people the opportunity, and every soldier that I've ever given an opportunity has proven me right. Every soldier I've said, I know that he can handle it, has handled it. I love the military. I couldn't love them more. I despise leadership who don't care about the military. I despise leadership that look at you and go, there'll be no religious exemptions. And then they're wanting to talk about Charlie Kirk. I seen you on Facebook, but you want to talk about Charlie Kirk. And then I watched you deny religious exemptions for the COVID vaccine. I watched you push it down everybody's throat. I stood up and said, hey, I'm not interested in it. And they literally said, turn your gear in and don't come back. And then I didn't get paid for 3 years.
Damn.
They didn't release me until February.
Yeah, I forgot that was a thing.
This year, February.
Damn. Did you have to get it for any reason? Nope. Did your parents get it?
I don't care if you got it or didn't get it. My reasoning is the fact that if you don't know what you're talking about and you aggressively push it on someone, you have no business being a leader, is my point. Because a leader evaluates the situation, understands it, and then makes a correct choice based on it, right? And the correct choice was, this is what we got from higher. They said we have to be done by this day. We're going to be ahead of that date, so you need to be done by this date. Not me. Not for me. And every person that's like me left. And you know what they told me? Don't say bye to any of your soldiers. Don't tell them. Don't tell them why you're leaving. Don't get to tell them goodbye. Don't get to give them a hug. Don't get to tell them how much you guys helped me, how much you guys helped me feel sane after literally my NCO partner died in a motorcycle wreck, bro. And I understand it's not that big a deal because people lose soldiers all the time in all kinds of different ways. But this was one of the only people that I could be my natural self with, because I didn't have a ranked game I was playing. I could be his actual friend. He could tell me about his life. He could tell me about his kids. He could tell me about everything that's bothering him. And dude, we did that. And it was just like peanut butter and jelly, dude. Literally, I was like, you're the subject matter expert. You know what needs to happen. Tell me what assets you need to make that happen. He worked there full time, killed it, ran it. It was unbelievable. Best soldier I'd ever worked with dies in a car crash. And then you go to work in the office, in the same office that he works in every day. You work in the office right there. I gave up my office for another soldier that worked full time. I wanted her to be able to have a place to work because she deserves privacy. But originally my office was right next to his office. I gave up my office and I worked in the center. I had a big place. So his office, you can see directly from the center. And I had to get stuff. I had to help clean his stuff up. I had to help do all that. All the people that were there full time did it to a level that I can't even imagine. When I tell you that me and him I'm not trying to make it out to be something that it wasn't. We didn't hang out all the time outside of the Army and all this kind of thing. It's the trust that you build in the Army. And those soldiers still exist. But I was suffering with the loss of that. And on top of it, you have COVID. And you see the lack of compassion for the people that struggled harder than me, and you see the lack of compassion for if anybody has any question. And you have that feeling in your heart, like, is that what I am? I've done all of my time. I've done my mandatory service. The Army didn't pay for anything for me. They didn't pay for my college. They haven't paid for anything. I'm not disabled, nothing. They gave me no benefit except for the money that I made while I was in it and a hell of an education, right? Like real hands-on education.
All right. I know what you meant.
And dude, I miss the soldiers. The people that are in it are unbelievable. But the leadership, the lack of leadership that I saw everywhere I went, the lack of anybody that's willing to go, hey, man, I don't agree with this. Hey, man, this guy needs to go see his baby be born. We're just training. You idiot.
So I just wonder, like, with the Charlie situation, where it will go past the people. If people don't push this, which I see a ton of people on Facebook like really pushing it. We've talked about it so much. And I just wonder, like, if the people can't take reins of like turning point, like where does it go? Because like higher ups, any leadership or official, like it's not going to go anywhere.
Well,
I hope Erica and Candace.
Other than I see Candace run with it, but
I hope both of them do it, and I pray to God Ben Shapiro does not do it. I've seen him flip on too many issues. He has too many.
yeah.
you can't be Jewish and represent Christianity
Yes.
as Charlie Kirk. And what I mean, I'm saying that because he said a direct statement was he was going to pick up Charlie Kirk's microphone. And I'm only saying that those are two separate things.
Yeah, you can't do it.
Just like when they thought that the shooter, but anyways, the shooter, they tried to say that he was Mormon. And I went, well, that's different than being just Christian. You know what I mean? And people are like, whatever. And I'm like, you don't understand there's a difference between the Westboro Baptist Church and the First Baptist Church in your neighborhood?
I mean, they immediately tried to say a lot.
Yeah.
But
And
it trips me out. Then the old dude came from the 9/11.
yeah.
Did you see all that?
Yeah.
Y'all talked about that?
Yeah.
I think we've talked about it.
Yeah. So the
but I
guy,
didn't see it. Yeah.
the guy, George Zinn, he actually was in a 9/11 memorial video talking about being a eyewitness, experiencing it, etc. He's been known to cause problems at different things like this. He was shouting, kill me, and things of that nature. There were only, I'm going to try my best not to get into these weeds because there are better people on the internet to talk about this, but they had 11 security, including police, is how many people were there. And when Charlie was shot and left, I would say all 5 of his security for sure left, which means you only have the few actual campus police there. When the campus police went to arrest that guy, and there were at least 3 or 4 police in frame, the search was over. And they can say that it wasn't or whatever, but I've done things like this. I've also worked security, had my own security company. And what happens? The dude that's brave enough to grab somebody grabs the person. And then the person that's afraid to go by themselves renders aid to that person.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're going to have your back. And that's great. And you need people to have your back. But you also need somebody charging out and making sure that the right things happen. When all of that occurred, you didn't hear a single voice say, get down, stop, that way, over there, none of that. But you can go on TikTok and be like, there's a dude, he's walking up on the building. Hey, man, what are you doing? Hey, if you're a man and you do that, reevaluate yourself. Hey, if there's a guy on the roof, and people have, since the history of time, you go and look at even, I'm pretty sure Virginia Tech had a school shooting like that. I think Tulsa, Oklahoma had a school shooting like that. People that are doing things like that on campuses do them from elevated platforms because they have to shoot over something. If you see somebody on a roof and you don't say something to the real world and you say it to the internet, what are we doing? As humans, what are we doing? Did that guy look like he was security? Have you ever seen somebody with a neck that skinny that works security? Have you ever seen somebody that looks like they've already been injured while they're walking and looks obviously disheveled working security? He weighs 112.5 pounds.
Yeah, he was.
I have a hard time believing that guy did anything except for make it onto the roof and then go, I can't believe this is happening, and jump off of the roof. Because explain to me why you walk up however you did to the roof and you jump off 15 feet fall. If you have any interest in getting away, you have to be dumb to fall for 15 feet before you start a run away from the place. especially if you know where the stairs are.
Yeah.
Especially if you look like all of the kids that are on this campus. I have a hard time with all of this. Now they want to say they left a screwdriver on the roof. They want to say he took the gun apart on the roof. Well, that's crazy because, like we're talking about, thank God to the few people that did have their cameras rolling after the whole thing, because we wouldn't even know what was happening, right? I mean, it's 2025. You could pop a drone up directly over the tent, cost you $35 from Bass Pro Shops, but I don't know, right? Anyways, so this dude takes the gun apart and then jumps off the roof and then puts the gun back together. I'm done listening until you guys have something for real. I'm done listening until you've decided what the full story is and present it, because you can't keep giving me half and then keep returning to the back. You can't say 3 days later, there was a screwdriver we found on the roof. Well, you found elbow and knee prints easier than you found a screwdriver?
Yeah.
You forgot to mention the screwdriver? That's even worse. All I'm saying is we should get a hold to what we're doing and make the main thing the main thing. If we've got politicians doing insider trading and we're writing seatbelt tickets, but we're allowing shit like that to happen, we need to consider what we're doing as men, what we're allowing to happen around us, and as a society, who we really consider to be protecting us.
That's good.
That's it. End of my rant. I said I wasn't going to get too crazy. There it went. So tell me about flat Earth.
No, that's good. That'll have to be for another long one. Dude.
I know you got a couple of minutes here. I know we've been running for a while. Let's see, what's my time looking like? We got an hour and a half. So look, I'm not going to hold you for much longer. So anything you want to talk about? We cut off on your life story. I know we can get into the more recent stuff another time.
No,
But I just wanted to say before we go any further, do anything, I love you, man. And I appreciate your friendship.
I love you too.
And I know that it's nerve-wracking to show up at somebody's house and they go, hey, we're going to do a podcast. And then they're just like, nothing. Like you're saying, nothing's right. You don't have a back to your chair. We flip the place around again.
It's all right. I felt like very bad. Like, man, they're in the back over here somewhere, but it's okay.
Dude, never feel bad. And plus, I'm going to edit it out and I'm going to make you look bad. That's what I do. I edit my videos to make me look good and the guests to look horrific. I want to model that. That's what I'm trying to be.
Yeah.
I'm not in any way going to now use my YouTube platform to try to pick up some bloodstained microphone as a Jewish man and say that I'm going to be Charlie Kirk. Makes no sense. But I am going to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth about my experiences with this life, because I realize that people really want that. And as much as everybody may tell me on my Facebook page that I'm the only one that feels that way or whatever, I know different. And if those people are looking for support, I'm going to bring it to you guys. Hopefully we'll be able to bring more people in too, and just have some camaraderie, share a little bit of experience and share a little bit of the struggle, because, you know, back to the campfire, the reason why we've always done that, and that's always been so important in our nature to gather with other people. And especially like we're talking about in your female or male groups, like the reason why you do that is because it allows you to almost pass off a little bit of that sorrow, because we all take things differently. And some of us have seen different things and all that. Like I've seen death, I've seen all that kind of thing. Still bothered me to watch what I saw. But to have my mother asking me about it and needing to explain it to people, and people asking me, well, is that what you meant by whatever you said the other day? Yes, that's what I meant. I just want people to be aware of what's happening to us. And I don't think I'm going to say anything that's dangerous really at all. And I'm not really important. So until I'm important, I guess I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
I think we're good, dude. Yeah. I think we're all right for now.
No,
Maybe when those numbers are bumped like a few million. Really watch what we say there.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Well, thanks for having me, dude.
Dude, it's
Can't
been a
wait to
pleasure.
come back.
Go ahead, Alex.
I know. I was just gonna say, I get the bigger people get. They change. They do whatever. Like, and I'm willing to gather more information and form a more well-rounded opinion on certain things, as long as information keeps doing what information is supposed to do, checking the right boxes. But man, it's just hard when there's so much fake in the world.
Oh, yeah. But we can navigate. See, I'm more of like the campfire for the brotherhood, camaraderie, for the growth.
Yeah.
Just past the sorrow, but the growth. Like you can check your boxes put together. You know,
Mhm.
like you have a group of dudes you trust or gals, but you know, that's where growth happens, you know. And we're supposed to, like, we're humans supposed to have companions too. When you get married and all that, like but not just sorrow, but growth.
Yep.
And that's what this will be, dude. Growth.
I think that's a good takeaway. I think that's probably the best way to close it down. Any more thoughts from anybody?
I'm good.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And like we were kind of talking about, I hope that maybe even to a little degree, just go out and try to be somebody that people can rely on for the smallest thing. If you're a subject matter expert at something, give that thing to someone else. You wouldn't believe how good that feels. And offer it freely and don't expect something back in return, because you'll never ever get back whatever you're expecting to get back, because the Lord is not going to bless you with a Ferrari just because you gave away a bunch of cans of soup. That's not the way this world works. But the way this world really works is while we're here and for this time that we have, the only thing that we have is each other. And so we have to support each other. So if you're a person that, you know, I don't care if you agree with me, have the same values as me, anything, find somebody who is able to relate to you and talk with them and be in the world with them. Don't just exist online. Okay. And everybody's a victim of this. I'm a victim of this. Everyone's a victim of this. Get out, make true friendships. Find someone who builds you. Find someone who has talents that you don't have, things that you'd like to grow, and share that with each other. And that's really where I just want to leave it off. Parker, thank you so much for being here, buddy. I love you, man. Thank you so much. So glad we got to do this. We'll do it again soon now.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
All right, brother. See y'all.
All right. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank y'all.
Dude, I love the bag.
All right.
Do I need to get a woofie?
For your life? Yes.
For my life, yes.
Pretty great. You don't know how I live in the woods, brother?
Ranger down.
Like, I literally use a whoopee in my ruck. I don't even do that. I used to do that. You know what I do now? I literally take my ruck, throw it on the ground up against a tree, and then I take a poncho, tie the poncho around the tree, put 2 stakes in the ground, I lay underneath it, and I cover up with a whoopee in my full clothes. That's how it's... Yeah.
Dang, dude, I saw some sick
All right, let's do it.
I saw some sick jackets.